This segment brought to you by the Albuquerque Theater Guild, our friends at abqtheater.org. Always willing to fill you in on what's going on live in theaters all across this fine community. There they are, the Albuquerque Theater Guild. Check them out online. We thank the Albuquerque Theater Guild for bringing our next guest to us today, Amber, and this is all about love letters.
Love letters,
Yeah.
yes, over decades.
Yeah. I'm
Yes.
thrilled to introduce, I guess I'm a fellow radio colleague, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, even though I'm not doing radio right now, but it's still.
Still, people ask me about you all the time.
This is Terrie Q. Sayre. You hear her weekend mornings on 770 KKOB radio. And Terrie, it's great to see you.
Thank you, Larry. Nice to see you both.
Thank you. And Phil, you ready for some love letters?
Oh, I'm ready. I'm always ready.
Phil
for love
Shortell
letters.
is here. This is a great concept. Let's talk about this at the Adobe Theater. Fill us in on this.
Well, the Adobe Theater's been around for about 40 years,
Yeah.
actually, right now. And the current production, we have decided to do something a little bit different than what we normally do. Normally, we mount full productions of shows, you know, with all the motion and all the
Sure.
costumes and all the sets and stuff like that. And I decided to try to do something a little bit different this time by mounting a production that has, instead of one cast, 10 casts. Okay, so that instead of just getting 3 or 4 wonderful actors, I can put 20 people on the stage, 2 at a time, 10 times, and get a lot of different things done. And the particular piece that you were talking about, Love Letters, was actually written to be done the way we're doing it. It was written by somebody named A.R. Gurney, who did a wonderful job on this thing, following, as you said, a couple through 40 years of their lives, communicating almost entirely through letters. And it's really a wonderful thing, and it gave me the opportunity to put, as I said, those 10 different casts, and the great opportunity to have one of those people, one of the couples, be Terrie, and her sidekick from KKOB, Dan Goss.
Good. What a great idea.
Yeah,
I think they'll do well. They can read stuff.
I think they're going to be really wonderful, and I get reports on it from the person I have assigned to direct them that they're doing a wonderful job.
Thank
Wow.
you.
No.
Terrie, so this is an acting credit for you now, huh?
Yeah, it's a wonderful opportunity, and I'm so grateful to Phil for inviting us to participate. And it's been a lot of fun. I haven't done anything like this for decades, and Dan is relatively new to the theater as well. And thank goodness that Phil gave us James Cady as our director, because that is going to make all the difference in the world.
It does. The director does make a great deal of difference.
He's awesome.
And I understand that Dan is a little more nervous than Terrie about this particular
I think
endeavor.
we're both pretty darn nervous, you know, as rightly so. It's a great play with a great tradition, so we don't want to mess it up too badly.
Yeah, one of the things that just happened too, we just found out that it's opening again on Broadway, coming up in the fall, with Brian Dennehy playing the part of the male.
Dan will be so disappointed. He was going to offer up our services.
Oh, well, maybe we can do a put-in and we can all do turns over there when they get to
It
Broadway.
really sounds like Broadway's trending off of you guys.
I'd like to
You came out
believe that,
first.
Amber. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's actually, the show has been done since 1988, and it's a hit almost everywhere it's done by just about everybody who does it, because it speaks to the emotions that everyone understands. The audience understands it because every one of the actors or the performers who gets to do this looks at this thing and says, gee, this is part of my life.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it allows you to let the emotion flow through you very, very naturally.
It must be quite romantic, though.
Well, you'd be surprised at this because it's romantic, but it's people who start out in the 2nd grade writing notes to each other in class.
Wow.
And it carries through their entire lives. And so there's romance involved in it, but there's also separation, and there's other parts of
There's
their
some
lives.
heartache.
There's a lot of heartache in it too.
Interesting.
Wow, what did you learn about this process, do you think? It's just so unique to what you've done in your career.
Trust the emotions
Okay.
and go with it, and don't be afraid of doing it and feeling it and sharing those emotions with the audience. Because it's, again, a little intimidating to be
Yeah.
up there. And these are really deep feelings. And so you have to dig down deep. Let's face it, most of us push negative feelings away.
Yeah.
We don't
It's
want to
true.
remember them. We don't want them running around. But for parts of this play, we needed to conjure up those feelings. And no acting, really feel it. Because the environment is so intimate that if you're acting, the audience is going to know.
Well, the Adobe Theater, you know,
Yes.
is a whole different thing from
It
what you
is.
think of most theaters. We have 88 seats in the theater, and there are going to be people who are as close to the actors, a little bit further than you are from me, but not a great deal.
Yeah,
And
that's
so-
what I love about the Adobe.
Yeah,
is-
and one of the things what Terrie just said there, you know, I said, if you're faking it, they're going to know.
Oh, yes. You can't fool the audience.
Well, you can't.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing about the correct way of trying to act. You're not really acting.
No.
You're just letting it come out of you and making it be real. And that's
When,
the whole thing.
when does Love Letters open?
Well, we've actually opened
You
already
did,
last
yes,
week
August
because
1st, yeah.
with 10 different casts, I did it myself last Sunday with my partner, and now we have 3 more people doing it this week, with Terrie being one of those, and Dan, of course, being one of the people there, and
On
then
Sunday.
we have another weekend of Love Letters, and then one more performance after that on the 23rd.
Very good.
And this is a warm-up because I read that you're also producing Driving Miss Daisy.
Driving Miss Daisy is going to be there on the weekend of the 22nd and the 24th, and we have 3 people who are doing that. 3 wonderful people who've been involved in local theater and in professional theater for years and years. And that's going to be done as a reading also. It's not going to be the full-blown production.
I see.
So it gives you that
I like that.
simplistic sense of doing things a little bit.
Great performance stuff.
And great writers.
Some of the best, you know, and I guess the real thing about both of them, both Love Letters and Driving Miss Daisy, is that they're real people. They're people that you will understand. They're not crazy, wild caricatures like you find in a lot of
Yeah.
movies these days. They're people that you will relate to, whether they are the people in Love Letters or in Driving Miss Daisy. You understand them. You knew these people. They were
Yes.
your neighbors or your friends or somebody just like them you knew when you grew up.
You can identify instantly with what they're transmitting and what they're saying and feeling.
And that really is the thing about writing. When it's good writing, you understand it, you know. And then again, the performers just simply let the writers speak through them, and it works very well.
Wow, this is great. And I was talking to you, Terrie, prior to the segment today. You can do a radio show for thousands of people. We do a TV show, no problem. But getting in front of a live audience, acting, whole different thing.
Whole
right?
different ballgame.
You could be nervous about that, right?
Really nervous. Really nervous.
More than just a little nervous.
Yeah,
But
we're
you know, once
doing-
it starts, it'll be fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Once you get a few lines in and you start to get the rhythm, and again, the energy from the audience will help. It'll all be fine, Phil reassures me. And our performance is this Sunday at 2
Okay.
p.m.
Good.
And one of the reasons that Phil invited me to be a part of this is because it's a benefit for the Adobe
Right.
Theater.
Beautiful.
So, you know, immediately when Phil invited us, I said, sure, we'll help out because the Adobe Theater is such a beautiful building, and the art that everybody makes there is fabulous. So it's great to be able to help raise some money for folks.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
We appreciate it very much.
It's our pleasure, I assure you. And I want to remind folks that everybody can get tickets. Please come. We'd love to have you at adobetheater.org. And again, it's only 88 seats in the whole theater.
Yeah.
So it's very intimate, very cozy. Great little way to spend a Sunday afternoon, and we hope folks will come out and share this with us.
Most people will just be happy to write a check, but you actually are going to get up there and
Well, we're going to give
deliver.
them.
Fun.
That's incredible.
We're going to give
Fun.
them something very much for the price of that ticket.
Oh,
So
indeed.
incredible.
Indeed. And if you listen to Terrie and want to meet her, I'm sure she'd love that after the show.
Absolutely.
So-
Absolutely. It's going to be a great weekend. And
All right,
again,
so they've opened. It's at the Adobe Theater, right there on 4th Street, just down the street from El Pinto. Is kinda
Correct,
how I
actually. So you
describe
could
it.
do dinner and a show, or luncheon or
Easy.
brunch and a show there on Sunday
Easy.
and see Terrie.
Nice.
Well, this is wonderful. Love Letters at the Adobe Theater. Terrie Q. Sayre is starring this Sunday. with Dan Goss at 2 o'clock. And there's various casts that are performing throughout the run of the show. And Phil, thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much for having me, Larry and
What a
Amber.
pleasure. This segment brought to you by the Albuquerque Theater Guild, abqtheater.org. And they have always an updated list of what's going on stage around our community. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
So
Terrie,
great to
Phil.
meet you. Wonderful.
You too.
Morning Brew
Best of luck to you.
continues in just a moment. You guys take one.